Is going to do what he can to protect some groups, some of these groups that do have very legitimate asylum claims.
Political analyst Barrett Marson is weighing in on the future of immigration policies and protections in the United States. This as Trump is set to take office in just over a week.
We will not see, mass deportations starting on January 21st.
Friday, President Biden extended the temporary legal status, or TPS, of nearly 1 million immigrants from El Salvador, Sudan, Ukraine, and Venezuela. The program offers legal status in the U.S. for people from countries riddled with war or destroyed by natural disasters. But the program protecting them is one that could be dismantled by the Trump administration, who tried to reduce TPS during Trump's first term. Some Republicans have criticized the program, saying protections are often extended too long.
Democrats are reading the room for the most part and seeing that voters want something done.
Marson says immigration is something Democrats fell short on this year in the polls, with many voters, he says, wanting tighter laws.
I think that's something that a lot of people have not taken into account. Obviously, and we in Arizona know this very well, many farms rely on immigrant labor to pick crops.
But he says if immigration policies change under Trump and there are mass deportations, there could be unexpected outcomes.
We're going to potentially see increases in food at the grocery store and at restaurants, and maybe increased prices at hotels because they have to get a different labor market. People may chafe at the increased prices, but if they wanted to crack down on illegal immigration, that is the consequence.
Now, TPS can be revoked by the Department of Homeland Security, but the government must provide a 60-day notice to immigrants. Trump is set to take office a week from tomorrow. So, of course, we will wait and see what happens there. Back to you, Michael.
Yeah, for sure. Sarah, thank you very much.